it is actually even more critical for you to understand who you're trying to serve, because that will dictate the type of home that you go purchase, the type of home that you go manage, or the type of home that you go co-host, or the type of home that you go do rental arbitrage in, so you're getting a master lease. All those things will matter. If you don't understand or think about the fact that you're catering to families, and some families, most families, I would say, but not all families, like to have a garage. And some of these families that you're serving, if you understand, you've done a market research, they're looking for pet friendly homes, then you're going to think about the fence, you're going to think about the garage, you're going to think about maybe it's a large family and you have an in-law suite, and that's a huge asset, especially in real estate.
Who's this? Oh, you're an entrepreneur? Oh, you're a real estate investor. Oh, you're trying to learn from those who did it. Well, come into the lab then. Put your white coat on, gloves on, notepad, and let's build, y'all.
This is a mistake almost every business owner makes, and the ones who don't make these mistakes are the ones who usually stay at the top of the food chain and dominate their marketplace. It's one question. This one question is the one that's going to help them and you, hopefully, on the other side, unlock or focus on the areas that matter the most, like the Pareto principle. How do you get 80% of the results with 20% of the effort you put in? The question you need to ask yourself, I will get to in a second, but in this specific niche of real estate is even more critical, because not only if you go into the real estate of niche of the short-term rentals, temporary housing, not only do you have somebody on the other side that you're serving, but you also have an asset type that you're investing in, and you also have a marketplace in addition to all of the mix. So you really have three things that you're targeting for, even if you even know that you're targeting those things, and most people don't know, right? So the mistake that you're making is that you're not asking yourself, who is my avatar? This question is so critical in every business, and the real estate short-term rental space, mid-term rental space, you're essentially building a business, a hospitality business, a B2B business. You just happen to be investing in real estate, but you are dealing with people, you're dealing with corporations. And so it is so critical for you to be aware of what these corporations need, wants and need. But needs are more important than wants, because want is a nice to have, and the need is they need it in order to get through the day. So it's really critical for you to sit back and think about, who is my avatar? Now, what does that really mean? Because if you think about that question, it might not be so clear if you don't know what an avatar is. So when we think of an avatar in the within the realm of again different industries, it's the person that you're serving on the other side. But to take it a step further, it's the person, it's the ideal customer that you want to attract, because as we know, in our businesses, there's people that we like to do business with, there's people that we love to do business with, and then there's people that we absolutely are terrified and do not want to do business with those folks. And based on your ability to know who your avatar is, your marketing, your positioning, your copywriting will attract the specific guest that you're looking for. I'll give you an example. I had a gentleman just came across his content actually recently, and he said, um, you know, one of the things that they do is they put like a $3,000 penalty fee for partying, like a fine. Most people, and I shouldn't make the assumption most people, but I can say that there's a majority of people who struggle to communicate. I think one of the best things that you can do, once you understand who your avatar is, or the avatar you're trying to attract and the avatar you're trying to repel, is to use the language that will attract that avatar and use the language that will repel the avatar that you don't want to work with. I'll give you an example. I happen to be a coach in and a consultant in the short term and midterm rental space, where I specialize in helping other homeowners 3x their traditional income, rental income that they would make by leveraging the midterm rental insurance contracts that we teach our investors how to optimize for to increase their occupancy and profitability. So now what that means is when I'm speaking to someone, I let them know upfront that this is a big investment and it is not for everybody. And the reason I state that is because you want to set expectations. You want to let people know that, hey, by the way, like this is, if you're looking to invest in yourself, like make a large investment to get a higher return on your investment, then this is for you. If you're looking for something cheap and maybe you're not ready to make this investment, well, then yeah, I mean, this is there's multiple other avenues we can go. And then sometimes I'll just preface by saying, hey, if you're a free 99 camp, listen, I got tons of free content on YouTube, right? So you can go there. But if you're looking to work with me directly and my team and you want to get the edge in your marketplace, then yeah, book a call. Go to experimentrealestate.com/submit and see if you can work with me. But I like to set the expectations up front because I'm trying to attract an investor who's doing what I'm doing, who's investing, highly gross amounts into themselves, because that tells me who they are. And those are the kind of people I like to work with. And it's my business. Therefore, I get to set the ground rules. Just like if it's your home, you can set the ground rules. We have photos that say explicitly there's no partying. And if there is a party, you will be escorted by authorities on site and your booking will be canceled. Like, you got to be explicitly clear that there is not such an option of even partying. But most people, they just cross their fingers and they hope they don't get anybody. They don't over communicate what will happen. They don't state the consequences. They don't say this is not for you. If you're looking to have, a grand party with your friends here, this is not the place for you. I'm sorry, there's multiple other places online, but this one ain't it, right? So it's, once you understand, maybe some of us are doing it subconsciously, but it's so critical for you to understand who is it that you're trying to serve. Because if I start thinking in the midterm mental space, I'm thinking, okay, who am I trying to serve? Families. Okay, what do families need? Okay, good. Families like to grill. Families like a dining table that's large enough for them to sit. Family could be small. Family could be large. So if it's a large family, they can have a comfortable table that can sit up to eight. Maybe six. Like, these are the things I'm thinking about. If I'm thinking about family, okay, where are they going to entertain? Where are they going to be sitting down? Are you going to have a pack and play? Are you going to have a kid's seat? Are you going to have the umbrella when they go to the beach? Are you going to have the towels? You start really thinking about who they are. And the best entrepreneurs sometimes are solving their own problems. So they're their own avatar. So they're solving their own problems and therefore are able to really identify and get to the problem that they're trying to serve. And they're not trying to do it just because they see an opportunity, but they're genuinely trying to solve their own problems. And the marketplace is big enough that many other people in this space have a problem similar to the one they're trying to solve. So it's pretty fascinating, because if you think about that, you start realizing that, oh wow, like there truly is an opportunity for me to really understand my avatar first. The worst thing that you can do is go into business and say, I'm going to Airbnbs because I like the idea and I love Airbnbs. That's great, but you're staying at the surface. If you really want to serve somebody, you gotta, when you serve them, they're gonna be like, do you know me personally or something? Because this is exactly what I've been thinking. Well, yes, you know your avatar. So, who is your avatar? Where do they want to travel to? If your avatar is someone that you're trying to serve in your community, what is that avatar, or who is that avatar that you're trying to serve? What kind of home do they live in? How many bedrooms? How many garages? It's specifically, well, this is important if you're going to go into the temporary housing, aka midterm rental space. It is actually even more critical for you to understand who you're trying to serve, because that will dictate the type of home that you go purchase, the type of home that you go manage, or the type of home that you go co-host, or the type of home that you go do rental arbitrage in. So you're getting a master lease. All those things will matter. If you don't understand or think about the fact that you're catering to families, and families, some families, most families, I would say, but not all families, like to have a garage. And some of these families that you're serving, if you understand, you've done the market research, they're looking for pet friendly homes. Then you're going to think about the fence, you're going to think about the garage, you're going to think about you know maybe it's a large family and you have an in-law suite, and that's a huge asset, especially in real estate, having that master on main. You're going to think about all these details because you've identified who the avatar is. We always talk about the who. It's so critical for you to go back to the fundamentals of who are you doing this for? Who is going to be staying here? What are they going to be doing? What do they like to do? Who are they going to be involved with? Right? Like, where are they going to be traveling to? Would you go there yourself if you're your avatar? Now, don't make the mistake of not being your avatar and doing things for you without keeping in mind who your avatar is, because you might say, "Ooh, I really like this nice piece of art, etc." But you got to think: is your avatar going to benefit from this? Or, "Ooh, this is a really nice couch. It's really aesthetic, and I have this aesthetic. I great, but is it functional? Can I create a sofa bed? Can I not create a sofa bed? Can I use it as sofa bed and turn it into an additional living area or for someone to sleep in because of a larger size, right? Who are you catering to? Are you catering to a bachelor? Are you catering to a bachelorette? Are you catering to a large family with the in-laws? Who are you catering to? So it just it made me think that there's so many layers of this, because when you think about the layers, it's like maybe you get the family, right? But then, how much does that family actually spend, right? Like, how much do you want to charge per night? And if that's what you want to charge per night, what are the amenities that you would need in place for that family for you to be able to charge that much per night? Are you catering to an executive who might be working from home sometimes? Therefore, do they have a dedicated workspace that's going to be away from family? Don't just put a desk in the living room. You know how wild it gets. You got TV on, you got the kitchen on, and you got a conference call. You're not thinking about the avatar. If you think truly about the avatar, maybe you're the avatar. What happens when you get on a conference call? You want a door closed. Where's the desk place? Is the light coming from behind and blurring out the Zoom? Because a lot of people get on Zoom these days, or is the window facing another side so that they don't have to move around? Do you have a stand up desk? People like stand up desks. Do you have a gym? People like gyms. Are you giving them access to what they need? Are you giving them fast Wi-Fi, or just trying to be a penny wise and a dollar foolish, therefore not thinking about the experience of the guest, therefore impacting their overall experience? What is it that you would want as the avatar that you're trying to serve, if you're the avatar that you need to implement in that property, that you need to let them know in the marketplace what they might need during their stay? Those are all questions you have to truly do your research on. And you can do this research on by at least first identifying who the avatar is, right? And then there's a lot of great websites that will give you some data on it. But AirDNA will give you the top amenities in this area, or the amenities that lack. Also, an opportunity for you to understand what are they saying. So there's a lot of guests that will be saying things on other people's homes that look like the ones you're trying to purchase, manage, co-host, arbitrage, right? Whatever the case might be, look at their comments and see what the avatar is saying. If they got their avatar right, you'll see a very similar theme. I came and said to my kids, my dog came and played. We came for here for graduation. Like, you'll get all this data, all these data points will then help you understand. We really wish that they were a little bit closer to XYZ. Oh, okay. We really wish that we would have had extra towels. We really wish we would have had an extra place to put these are the kind of things you're getting away from within the marketplace. You're getting this data and feedback.
Experiment Nation, you've heard the word MTR, mid-term rentals, as it is currently a hot topic and hot commodity right now because, again, there has been an increase in short-term rental regulations, and there also has been, let's face it, a slowdown in what we were experiencing a couple years back when it comes to bookings. So with that said, short-term rental operators are looking for alternative solutions to tap into the mid-term rental space. However, there is a sub niche of mid-term rental insurance that I'm truly excited about, that I want to share with you, that the experience that we've had, the tremendous results we've been able to have, and that's the insurance mid-term rental space, which is very different than your traditional mid-term rentals. When you think of traditionally mid-term rentals, you think of travel nurses. There is a space, mid-term rental insurance space, that we've tapped in, where you need to be well connected with insurance and relocation specialists and companies and understand the right type of asset required for you to be able to help these families. What's really important that stands out the most, which you can get in what I'm about to offer you, is the understanding where to be found by these insurance companies, how to properly manage your calendar so that your listings are optimized so that they can find you, how to actually gain traction and build a relationship with these relocation insurance companies. I've put together an MTR insurance blueprint. That's double MT triple R insurance blueprint to cover these foundations after we've had success landing very large contracts on single family homes that literally 4x what we traditionally make in long-term rentals, and also gives us peace of mind because there's less turnover and 100% occupancy, because these contracts can start anywhere from 30 days to 3 months to 8 months and range anywhere from, again, we've landed anywhere from $8,000 to $9,000 a month in per month on a single family home property, which our mortgages are typically around the 2,400 range, which then gives you a large spread of anywhere from 4 to 6K net on just one property. And this is why it's very hot right now. But people who haven't been in the lab with individuals like myself, like Jesse Vasquez and Dr. Rachel Gainsborough and Noble Crawford, don't have the foundations and don't know exactly where to start. And therefore, this is why I'm giving you guys a blueprint, the MTRR insurance blueprint. Go to the website experimentrealestate.com and get yourself a blueprint to completely change, or at least have a plan B if you're a short-term rental operator looking to maximize your occupancy and profitability. We'll see you on the other side.
So another thing too that really sparked this thought was understanding there's a lot of noise in this world, and the worst thing you can do is not know where you are in the fight, where you are in your journey, that you might start taking things and ordering things and adding things in your properties because someone said online, and but you didn't really understand their context and where they were at and who they were trying to serve. Is it the same avatar or not? I'll give you a fine example. I had pleasure of having Arthur Coker, yeah, from episode I believe 209 come on my podcast, 207 or 209, one of those episodes, come on the show, and he had talked about StayFi, which is an application that essentially grabs the emails of your guests, right? And because we knew who our avatar was at the time, I thought it was fascinating 2 years ago. Fascinating app, but I didn't make the investment in it. Again, you buy the portal, or you get a membership, you get the equipment, and essentially what StayFi will do when a guest checks in, it'll very similar to what you do in the hotel rooms. It asks for their first name, last name, email, phone number, etc., and it'll capture their details. Now, that's fantastic and that's great because every business needs a list to target. However, in the business we were operating in, because we understood who our avatar was, our avatar are not the guests staying in our properties. Our avatar is the insurance and relocation agencies who are bringing in these guests and paying on their behalf. Therefore, it would make no sense for me to capture the emails of the guests who, honestly, some of them are well, I should say some of them are not even planning to stay in the area because they live in the area. So it's not a vacation for them. It's displaced location. We're not going to target them and be like, hey, you want to stay here again? That would be you taking a tool that's a very efficient tool, but without understanding your avatar and who your avatar is, right? Where your avatar falls in this in the line of the entire life cycle of your business, understanding if this investment in this tool makes sense or not. Now, this changed completely when we recently expanded to vacation rental market. We're here in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and one of the things people do is they like to visit a place more than once, time and time again. And so, therefore, we invested into this StayFi tool. It's an amazing tool. We already started seeing like one stay, you got 6 points of contacts, which means that all the individuals that were staying with us, we have their contact information, which means we can recontact them and tell them whether it was the friend that booked, the one that actually booked, or their friends who came along with them. We can retarget them and be like, hey, remember that home that you love so much that you stayed? You can stay with us again. Here are some new amenities that we've added. We'd love to have you again. Go direct. There's a direct book direct link. There's I mean, it was really neat. You can put like a digital guidebook and everything, but that's from really truly understanding your avatar. And because you understand your avatar, you're also understanding what tools would either help you keep track of that avatar or even support that avatar, or in this case help you monetize from that avatar. There's nothing like having helping someone return and have a discount rate for them, and which will lead to more profits for you because it'll be return business, and they won't have to, let's say, spend money on the Airbnb fees. And in the vacation rental market, that's key because people do a lot of return visits back to a place that they loved, right? Especially in a home that they're very comfortable with, that they love. They'll come back and check to see if it's available next year again, repeat business. So it's important in this case that we have a point of contact to let them know when they should, plan their summer or what changes we made, because especially for that home we're going to be making some changes. So we're going to let them know the changes that have been made upon their return. So these are the kind of things that make a huge difference in your business, but they're all goes back to the fundamentals of understanding who your avatar is, right? The exact same way when you think about the asset type, who is your avatar? Where are they coming from? These families temporarily relocating with us too, and the other market that we're in, which is Metro Atlanta, Georgia. By the way, if there's any deals, always reach out to us. We're always down to do some creative finance deals. So make sure to just shoot me an email at Ruben at experimentrealestate.com if you come across any deals that you want to do, creative finance deals. But one of the things that we want to do is to um, we always want to understand before we get an asset under control who is coming in the doors, right? And because these have been larger families and the larger families pay a premium with their pets, then we make any home that we buy purchase, manage, which we don't do much of, but even co-host, etc. We want to make sure that it does not have the carpets. We don't do carpets because we're pet friendly. It has a fence. We love fences because, well, you're fenced in to protect your pet. That's security. We love single family homes that are one floor, where you could live on one floor without extra steps at the front. Bungalow style, ranch style homes. That's our home. We like four-sided brick homes as well. Good bones. We love decks, backyard decks for entertainment. We love, like, these are the things that the reason we love them is because they're part of our buy box, and our buy box is based on who, our one and only who, our avatar, right? So again, just brings things full circle of taking the time to do your math. If you're not sure who your avatar is, or what your avatar wants, you might know the who, but you don't know their what. It's so important, right? I'll give you another example of who your avatar is. So important for you to understand what words they're using. All right, I'll give you an example. If you want to know what your avatar it likes the most, go into your reviews and see what they say. One of the things we had done in the past is we realized that by simply going through our Airbnb reviews, that these keywords kept on popping up, and it was spacious and clean and communication. Spacious, clean, and communication. So guess what we led our marketing with? Those keywords, because those are the words they were using. They were like, this place is so clean, so spacious. The hosts were so good when they were communicating with us. We loved their communication. Communication was awesome. Communication, communication, communication. Spacious, very spacious, very spacious, very clean, very spacious. We had so much room with a large group, very spacious home. Kept on hearing the same words. What if I then said very large home, exquisite home? Those are not the words they're using. Use their words. It's actually a bridge. It's a connection point between your avatar and you, because when you're using their language that they're using, there's a connection point already, because they were already thinking about using that word. And now, because it matters to them, when someone else who is another avatar, and the reason we call them an avatar is because an avatar is when you meet someone, you meet an idea. Essentially, they have ideas of what they like. They have a paradigm. They're coming with a paradigm. They're paying a certain dollar amount. They're expectant of X amount of things. So that's who you're meeting. And because half of what we do is digital, it's so important that you meet them where they are, and that's online. And so what are you going to do? You're going to speak their language. You're going to show them what they want to see. You're going to talk the language you're going to speak the language that they speak in. You're going to talk the language that they speak in, right? So you're going to do these things because that's how you are going to connect the bridge, the connection point with your avatar. And then if you want to take it further, especially the feedback that they give you, you know, I always like to ask the question. We actually had a forum for my agency. Shout out to investedtalent.com, the agency, my agency that puts the entire show together. When we used to at scale produce a lot of content for a lot of real estate investors and firms on their shows, we used to always ask them. We used to always have a intake form that used to ask some questions like, "What's making you want to work with us?" In a perfect situation, what would be the outcome? Or what are the things that you like understanding all these key questions. They were answering it in their own words. And what's really important about that is it's the words that they were using. It's the pain points that they were talking about. And we would actually ask the question, what is your biggest pain point? So what is the biggest pain point when you're traveling? What is the biggest pain point when you check into an Airbnb? What is the biggest pain point when you're looking for housing? I spoke to a lady who said her biggest pain point was finding pet friendly options. So guess what we're gonna do? We make it easy, so we say the word pet friendly, so you know right away, right? uh Another big problem in our industry is for if they're again a displaced homeowner and they already got the check from the insurance company and they need to find temporary housing. They don't know the window of how long they're going to stay for, because it depends. Sometimes the work could take 2 weeks, sometimes it could take three, and they don't commit. So they have a trouble. They're wondering, hey, like, can I extend past this date? If I do extend, will it still be available? If I need a shorter stay than the one that I think I'm gonna have, am I gonna get a refund? Like, they're thinking of those questions. So guess what we say? Flexible stays, flexible terms. Like, they're thinking about it. That's their pain point. So you want to go straight to the pain point, but you don't get there without asking the first question we should all be asking for before we make an investment, before we take a co-host deal, before we go under contract, before we have to ask the key question: Who is my avatar? Who is my avatar? Who is your avatar? So once you do that, it'll give you more clarity, and then you just reverse engineer from the avatar's desires and pain points. Very important though to keep in mind that while we are motivated by our desires, more people are motivated to get rid of the pain, because pain hurts more than a desire. So lead with the pain points, especially when it comes to a service that you offer. Talk about the pain points that they're already thinking of, and then lead to the desired outcome. With that said, experimentation, always thank you so much for joining. I want to give a big shout out to all those who also watch the show. Uh, if you're listening to this, make sure you go ahead and hit the follow button if it's on Spotify. Leave us a review. It's on Apple. It just brings our entire community together. And one of the things I'm super proud of recently is that we became YouTube partners, which means now we're going to have some exclusive memberships that we want to offer to our community who doesn't want the learning to stop, right? You may have been in my boot camps, maybe part of my mastermind, maybe you want to get even more proximity. And the YouTube membership is going to give you that. It's going to give you some access to some pretty exclusive content or conversations, perhaps interviews. There's lots coming that we're working on now that we've become partners of YouTube, to give experimentation more. Again, the way I always say is give you the unconventional wisdom so that you can do unconventional experiments to get unconventional results, right? That's what I believe in. And I think if you're listening, I trust and hope that you've gotten some of that. And my goal is to give you more of that. So if you're not yet on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. The only way you'll know about these new memberships as they come out for those who are interested, and all of my free content that goes out there, is by being subscribed. It'll let you know when a new episode drops, a new video drops. And I can tell you right now, in this library, there is a wealth of knowledge. There is a wealth of information that can not only help you towards your pain point of increasing your occupancy and increasing your profitability and getting to that freedom number that you're looking for. Notice I'm focusing on your pain points right now, so that you can also remove the headaches too. If you've been in the Airbnb space and you're feeling a little burnt out, or your traditional space and you're not making as many rentals as possible, rental income as possible. I mean, this is what we're doing. This we want to solve a big problem on the other side and be highly compensated for doing this. So, and I believe you should have the right, if you've done and earned the right and educated yourself, to earn more with less. The only way to do that is by knowing a certain thing and doing it in a certain way consistently over time. The way we've done it, the way students in our mastermind have done it, members of our mastermind have done it, those who are consistently can even consuming the content. You can't unlearn this stuff. That's what I love about, right? You cannot just forget one day that all this exists. Once you know, you know. So with that said, experimentation, thank you so much for knowing to tune into this, knowing to listen to this episode. There's plenty more to come. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, go on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button, because I have some special exclusive access that I'm going to give when these memberships start rolling out. But of course, regardless of the membership, you're going to want to know when the next video drops. So with that said, experimentation, who is your avatar? I know who my avatar is. Do you? Let's build.
Experimentation podcasting has changed the way we operate as real estate investors ourselves, and it can do the same for you. Podcasting has been the source of the master classes that we get thanks to the world class real estate investors and practitioners and specialists that come into the lab from all realms, from short-term rentals to mid-term rentals to real estate syndications to even software as a service owners, founders, entrepreneurs have helped enrich our experiments by giving us the education, helping us build a network, and lastly, and most importantly, a brand association to open up multiple doors for our respective businesses. If you understand the power that podcasting can have and you know that you need one for your brand, please, you can rely on our team. Investedtalent.com is my team and the team that helps this podcast, the real estate experiment, become the fruition each and every single week to educate my community, build relationships on the air, and continue to build our brand. If you know that you need to do these same for your brand and you haven't pulled the trigger yet, maybe because you don't know how, our company, investedtalent.com, does the end-to-end from the time that you record, from the time that it is published, to even repurposing content on multiple social media platforms. That's what my team can do for you. Simply go to investedtalent.com and book a discovery call to see how my team can help you launch your podcast.